Good hometown heroes. A little bit late. Had a technical glitch that I couldn't figure out until I got my son Tyler in here and we figured it out. So, good
Isn't that the
morning,
way it
Mary.
works? We always got to get the younger folks to figure out the technical
That's
stuff.
right.
We can't do it.
I had my computer stand sitting on my keyboard and it wouldn't let me select anything. So, welcome to this episode of Hometown Heroes. And we are so incredibly excited to have Crystella McIvor on Hometown Heroes. And she is she's no stranger to a lot of people. She's
Isn't that
so
the
full of
truth?
energy, and
Mhm.
she is ultimate in supporting hundreds of nonprofits. And so, Crystella, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so freaking excited. I was like, I couldn't wait. I love both of you so much. Like, honestly, you, Rick and
Aw.
Mary, are two of my favorite humans on planet Earth. I'm honored to call you my friends, and I love you guys so much. You do so much. I mean, obviously, you've already served our country. You take good care of your families. You're the best grandparents. You're amazing. But then also, you continue to serve our country, and it's freaking awesome. I just,
Oh,
I
you're
love every
kind.
moment with you guys. I love what you do for our society, for humanity, and for your own families, which is very important. So I love you guys. I love you so much. You know what? I actually saved you guys. I thought I was going to get to see you for this podcast, but I saved you these hilarious little pins. I'm not sure if you can see them.
Oh, those are great.
It says kick-ass human. So as embarrassing as it was, I was recently recognized by our it's called the Dallas Sidekicks, which is our Allen indoor soccer team. And so I wore ridiculous green clothes and I made a fool of myself and was, taken around the stadium on a golf cart and was recognized as the kick-ass human of the game. But instead, what I did was pass these little pins out to all of my friends, and I turned everybody into kick-ass humans.
Well,
Awesome. That's awesome.
thank you very
I
much.
have some for you guys, and I thought I was going to get to see you. And I love you, and I think you are the most kick-ass humans ever.
Oh, you're so kind.
Well, we think you're a pretty kick-ass
Yeah,
human
we
too.
do.
So,
We want
love
just
you
like
guys.
that much of your energy most of the time. Rick and I are like, man, you got to bottle that stuff.
well, one thing about it on Hometown Heroes, we meet a lot of people with a lot of energy and with a lot of excitement and people that really inspire other people. And Crystella, you do inspire other people. Uh, it's always a pleasure and honor to be with you. So,
I love you guys too. I love it. I mean, that's kind of what life is about. Life is way too short to be wasted. We don't even have a minute to waste. Tomorrow's not guaranteed for any of us. So I do
Amen.
appreciate you guys, and I do try to live my life being grateful for every day and living it to the max, because just in case, tomorrow's not promised. I want to live a long, happy, healthy life and be here for a really long time. But just in case I'm gone tomorrow, I want to live with kindness and integrity and honor and grace and strength and help as many people as I can. So
and
yeah,
you,
when I go to bed at night, believe me, my head hits the pillow and I'm out like a light, but I'm okay with that. Like, I prefer that. That's what I will choose every day.
and you tell us how short life is. And Mary and I had just experienced this the other day with our friend Bob Jungers. We saw him
Yeah.
Friday at roll call. He was just his regular self, uh, just full
Yeah.
of life and energy. And he passed away Sunday, didn't he?
He was out with his family. He had made arrangements to go see a play or something of that sort in Granbury. They went. He wasn't feeling well Sunday evening. They went to the room and he thought, well, I'll take a bath. Maybe that'll help me feel better. And had a massive heart attack and they couldn't revive him. And, I've known Bob for more years than I've been involved with roll call, because we used to do yoga at the base gym together. And I always teased him because I'd say, Bob, those kind of noises are not supposed to come out of a human being. But he always made me laugh. And I'd see him at the commissary, and when he bought the new Lexus, and he was like, hey, you got to come see my car. You got to come see my car. And, and then he lost his wife right at the beginning of COVID. Not to COVID. She had dementia, Joanne, and she she would come to every lunch, and she was such a wonderful woman. And he was so good with her. He took such great care of her. Every single day he cared for her. And when he left the February 2020 luncheon, it was to go try to move her to another facility. And he got there in time for her to take that last breath. And he carried that EKG of her last heartbeat with him. And I'd see him at the commissary, I'd see him at the BX, I'd see him all over the place. And it was at a time when, everyone was told to keep your distance and everything else. And he would just be in tears, and nobody felt like they could comfort him. And I never really cared that much about COVID. You got to take care of people. And he recovered. He went on to find somebody else that he could share his life with, and was living his best life. He was so happy and so joyful. And he came up, and I hugged his neck on Friday as we were getting ready to get started with the lunch, and he had to leave early, so I didn't see him afterwards. And that was the last time that we'll see our great friend Bob, Vietnam veteran, proud Air Force veteran.
1953 to 1977 is when he served our country. So
Wow.
You're right, Crystella. Life is short.
It is very short. I saw that post, and it makes me emotional. Like, I don't know how you guys, you're around such greatness. I will say, every time I'm in, the roll call rooms and around these people and hearing their stories, I mean, these are the people that built our country, right? So I'm going to get emotional. Sorry. I have great respect.
Yeah, it's hard, because Rick and I, just like you're talking about, we know that, what you're saying is absolutely true, that any day could be that last day. And a lot of the folks that we work with all the time with roll call are our older veterans. And, a lot of times they feel forgotten. As you get older, it's no different for me with my older grandkids, and, they get busy with life, and things go on, and they get moving, and then your grown kids get busy, and they're moving and going. And, and so as you get older, the family and the friends around you get fewer and fewer that have time to spend with you. And so us being a family as roll call is so important, because sometimes the last time that we see them is the last time they were with anybody other than one or two people, maybe a caregiver. But yet in a room of 450 to 500 people, they're with this huge family that just loves on them and cares for them. And it's a special time. So it is hard, but you're right. We have to live every day and knowing that we did our best that day to make life a little bit better. Even if it's even if it's you smile at somebody, or you say, hello, how are you? And you actually listen to their response. And whatever it can be, it could be one little thing that you do to make one person's day a little better. And then you can put your head on your pillow, like you said, and you can sleep well.
Yes. Yeah. You guys with roll call, I mean, I love that you feed people, but you do way more than that. What you are building is a safe place, is a family, is a community, is a place where everyone feels welcome and invited and loved. So yes, the food is always amazing and great, and your cakes are great too. But I think what mostly impacts people is just being able to get out of the house and get out of, forget about their problems for a day, forget about, their poor health or someone that they've lost, right? Because it is that time of in their lives. So thank you for what you guys do.
Thank you for what you do too.
Yeah, for sure. You do a lot.
And COVID, we talked about Bob and his and COVID. COVID is really what got you to start support our scrubs, your nonprofit.
So at the start of the pandemic, obviously I never thought I was going to start a nonprofit. It wasn't kind of on my life list of things to do. But at the start of the pandemic, I saw the need, in our country with our healthcare professionals. So many people were putting their lives on the line. And I'm not really one to sit on my couch and complain. I want to be a source for good on planet Earth. I want to be part of the solution. I want to help people. So I was like, well, what do I do? How do I help? And I'm sure I was one of, millions of people sitting on their couch thinking the exact same thing. I just don't know how to not do. I do things, and I see a need, and I really try to respond, and I try to step in. And so I quickly started to try to get them PPE because a lot of the healthcare workers felt unsafe going into work. So I was like, well, let me try to get them PPE. But that was bananas, you guys. It was kind of like a black market. I mean, there was powerful, governments and people and wealthy people, and they were all fighting over the PPE. I was like, I can't do that. So I quickly pivoted my focus and started thinking, what else can I do? And I started noticing that there was a lot of mom and pop restaurants and businesses that were also worried about having to close their doors. So I started getting meals and care baskets and coffees and cupcakes. And with the help of so many people, like I did not do this by myself. There's no way I ever could have. But, with businesses and restaurants and individuals and people donating $3 to $5 or as much as they could. I mean, we all together helped to get about 100,000 care baskets, 100,000 meals, and then care baskets and coffees and cupcakes to our hospitals across the metroplex. So it's been amazing. It's been a labor of love. I will not lie. It's a lot of work. You guys know this, anything that you do when you put your heart and mind into it, it takes a lot out of you. It's exhausting, but it's also so rewarding. And at this point, I wouldn't have it any other way. I've learned so much about myself and what I'm capable of as a human. I actually think all of humans, we are created for greatness. And when we set our mind to do something, there's literally nothing that we can't do. I didn't know I was going to be like setting up websites and every social platform and learning all of these skills. But I've learned so much personally. It's helped me grow as an individual and hopefully helped other people as well. So part of my mission statement actually for Support Our Scrubs is actually in my mission statement is to facilitate acts of kindness. So anytime I can just help, kind of be the middle person, if someone wants to do something kind and I can help them, yes, let's do this. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of work. But right now, apart from, still providing care baskets and meals for them and working on, Nurses Week and all of these things, a lot of the challenges that they're facing right now are a little bit more challenging for me and for them is that you guys know, like I've worked with veteran organizations for as long as I can remember. So I'm pretty familiar with what PTSD and trauma and all of that looks like. And now, sadly, I'm seeing that those same challenges in the medical community.
And your daughter's a nurse.
The nightmares, the headaches, the trauma, the panic attacks. And this is something that sadly in our society really didn't exist before. But these guys were asked to essentially go to war on behalf of our country. Although it was an invisible war, they were not well equipped. They actually weren't trained or didn't sign up for exactly what they did for us and continue to do. So a lot of them, I'm just trying to let them know, hey, you guys, you're not alone. We're here for you. It's okay to talk about this. Find the help you need. And there is support out there. So it's still a huge challenge. And I'm not sure exactly how to face this, how to, fix it. But I think just letting them know it's okay to talk about this and that you're definitely not alone. I can't say that enough, just, be with family, be with friends, be with your pets, be with the outdoors. Learn to re-engage because they've seen a lot of pain and death and loss. So still a lot of challenges, still so much to do with that.
But you saw this firsthand because your daughter, she's a nurse.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what got you interested in it. And there's a picture of your daughter there and your son and your family.
I love my family so much. Like I do everything for them. You guys are parents and grandparents, like everything under the sun. The world could be falling apart, to be honest. And as long as my kids are okay, all is right in the world. The only thing ever that I lose sleep over or that keeps me up at night is, making sure that my kids and my family are okay, because they're the most important thing. Like I can work all day and night to help society and help our communities and help perfect strangers. And I'm perfectly fine to do that. But at the end of the day, like I love my family with all of my heart and all of my soul. And I feel like I have little pieces of me walking around outside.
Well, you do.
You do. You definitely do.
And they certainly give you a lot of support because I see them at a lot of events. Your daughter and your son, your husband, they come to events with you. So
yes, my daughter modeled in our so at Christmas, I did a toy drive for the Children's Hospital working with another organization. And so we were collecting toys. So we did a fashion show and an art show, and she was one of my models and she was absolutely amazing. My kids are amazing. My family's amazing. They always show up. they come in clutch. So I'm so grateful for them.
Well,
And they probably think I'm crazy, but that's okay. They're just like, Mom's always doing something. Let's just go support her. We don't even know what it is, but here, sign on
here
the
we
dotted
are.
line.
And you could see that in them when they're at the events. They look at you like, yeah, my mom's going to go do something really out of the box. But, you know, hey, she's mom. Yeah.
Right. But
And
then
your
again, I
husband
only
is-
get one life, one
But your
freaking life. And
husband
it's
is
so
your
short.
husband
So
is so great because he's just he's like quiet in the background, but he's there and he's supporting you.
yes, and I
So,
appreciate that so
yeah,
much.
yeah, it's great. It's fun to watch the interaction when y'all are out at events. It's really
Yes.
fun.
And you mentioned an organization that you helped around Christmas, but you've worked with untold number of different organizations. And whenever I see you at events, you know, I mean, you are everywhere trying to help. I mean, if they have a need over here, you're there, and you can kind of look around and see where you need to plug in. And you know,
Yes.
that's fascinating to me because you might do 2 or 3 events a day. It seems like, you know. So,
Sometimes. Yes.
but you do serve at the clay shoots we do for Sheena. You usually are one of my chauffeurs, so
I do.
so we go around the clay course, and you drive, and we haven't had any accidents yet. So you're a safe driver.
Thank you.
But
I appreciate that.
let's talk about Sheena for a minute.
Sure.
And she is she does a lot of events for Light Up to Live, and then many other. She's real involved in Garland, so she does clay shoots for the Garland Police. They have some kind of initiative that they do.
Yeah, so we help out with the Never Walk Alone Foundation.
That's what it is.
Yes. And then also here, well, I don't want to say where he lives. That's okay. But so the Sons of the Flag, we do a fundraiser, a golf event for a clay shoot for them, and then also for the Garland, and then we also do a gala, like a country to country event, which you and I have been at, Rick, for Sons of the Flag as well. So, but Sheena's amazing. I love her to pieces. She does so much for our community. I'm just trying to keep up with her. That girl's bananas.
She does a lot of work.
From Crystella.
But tell us just a little bit about you. You were born in Mexico City.
Yes. Well, I don't like talking about myself, but I'll do my best because I prefer to, highlight other people and lift other people up. But yes, so I was born in Mexico City and lived in Central and South America as a kid. Moved here to the US in 2000 with my 2 kids and my husband. And we pretty much started our lives over. I wouldn't trade my childhood and all that for anything because I've gotten to experience amazing, wonderful things many grown adults in their lifetime will never get to experience. But also I really wanted for my kids to have, stability and have a home and be able to go to schools because a lot of mine was correspondence course and stuff like that. So love living abroad. I feel like mi corazón, les digo siempre, mi corazón es mexicano. Like I have like half Mexican heart and I love, the Hispanic community, and I do try to support them and help them when I can, just like I would help anyone. But yeah, it's been, coming to a new country, there's a little bit of culture shock initially. I used to dream and think in Spanish. So, Spanish was my dominant language, but then I figured out after a few years of living here in the US, I started dreaming and thinking in English. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. That's how that works. You just, whichever one you're using more, your brain kind of starts to think and dream in that. So, but I've learned so much being in this country. Like we have so much to be thankful for. As much as our country is not perfect, living in third world countries and seeing civil unrest and turmoil constantly on a daily basis, like that was my life. And until the pandemic, I had never really seen all of these protests in the streets and all this stuff. So I was like, wait, what's happening? I thought I left all that. So, being in this country, we do have a lot to be thankful for. And I'm grateful every day for the opportunities for our kids, for our families, for small business owners, because, that honestly does not exist in other countries. Not every other country has that. And for women, empowering women, I do a lot. I just did the Miss Frisco pageant helped out with that. So that helps young women from, well, we had a couple 16-year-olds. It's supposed to be 17 to like 24-ish, but to empower them and help them prepare them for life. And I'm speaking at Women in Automotive in Denver in May this year. And anything that I can do to help support, be it, men, women, children, I don't know. I do all the things. I work with nonprofits for everything from homelessness to human trafficking and sex trafficking. And, there's so much in our society. I'm grateful for our government because we need them and they do a lot. And we need them to be organized and do their job. Mary, I love you. But we also can't depend on them to do like boots on the ground. I have just learned they're not doing exactly all of the things. So every single nonprofit that I work with and that I support, I have realized that we need all of them, because I would hate for all of that responsibility to fall on one sole nonprofit. It's just not fair to them or to anyone else. And, some people, I've heard them be like, oh, why are there so many nonprofits? It doesn't make any sense. But I will tell you, working with them and understanding their core missions and who they're actually reaching and their values and their hearts, like, I'm thankful for all of them. I think the more people that we can get serving in our communities, in our cities, in our schools, like, we just have to be, work together and solve the problems together, because or else it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Can't wait for someone else to do it.
Right? No.
You hit on something a while ago. You said something about you didn't like to be in the limelight. And, I was going to go.
Did you see how quickly I changed into another subject?
I know. But I was going to go find a picture of just you so I could post it.
And you couldn't find one, could you?
I couldn't. I had to search hundreds of pictures on your Facebook page. And I finally found one of just you, because you always have other people in your pictures. I mean, you take a lot of pictures, you do a lot of videos, but it's always about other people. You're always highlighting the other person. So, that's something that is very honorable and special.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I actually didn't notice that until you said that, but it is kind of true. Like, I love people. I want for people to be successful. I'm better at making other people successful than myself. Like, I will help businesses. I will help lift other people up, all day and night. Helping make myself successful. That's what I'm trying to, still figure out. It's actually not what I'm best at. I need to just live my life helping other people. In the end, hopefully that'll work out.
Zig Ziglar said something. He was a fellow that really taught positive mental attitude. But he said something along the line that if you help enough people get what they want, you in turn will get what you want.
Yep, and you didn't have to beat anybody up or step on anybody to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really true. And he was a great person to follow in terms of that. But Crystella, what you prove is that you absolutely don't have to be ugly and mean-spirited and take somebody else down in order to lift somebody else up. Why not lift everybody up?
Right.
There's not a reason. We don't need this. We don't need this negativity. We don't need this bringing somebody else down. That's just a sign of somebody that has a low self-esteem, which you clearly do not have. Because you don't feel the need to put yourself out there as look at me, 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 me. You're saying, look at this organization, look at this group, look at what these folks are doing. I think that's a great example.
It is indeed.
Thank you. I learned from the best, like you too. When I'm around you guys, I'm always taking notes. I'm like, how are they so gracious during difficult times? How are they so strong and courageous and just keep going? So I do. The only way I can do this is by being around good people like you guys and just being like, okay, I'm not alone in this. There are other people thinking just like I'm thinking, and together we can make a difference, because I can't do this by myself. I mean, and this is absolutely not about me. So.
And you touched on something else a while ago. You said something about Sons of the Flag, and there's not anybody that I think that you and Mary and I have been around that's any more inspirational than Zachary.
Oh,
man.
And,
yes. I
you
love
know,
it so much.
he's a burn survivor, and he has such a great outlook on life. And just being around him is just a positive experience. But whenever we have you and Zachary, then it's like positively on it's on steroids, you know. So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you do a lot of work with Sons of the Flag.
I do. And I love Zach to pieces. Like, he's one of those people all of us should take notice of and realize, like, if I'm ever thinking, oh, today's not a perfect day, or, oh, I don't know, things aren't great, I always like think of people like Zach. And I'm like, you know what? If Zach can keep going, and if he can keep smiling, and if he can keep cheering other people on and sharing his message and being positive and living his best life, then I have zero to complain about.
Right.
Zero. So
Right.
I will just keep on keeping on. And, like that day of that picture, actually, he wasn't able to be there because his dad had passed, but I missed him so much. And, him and his mom are just an inspiration of, people that make our country great and that continue to smile through their tears and set a positive example for all of us, because literally none of us can complain when there are people that have overcome that much. I just learned about another organization called Folds of Honor, and they also help, victims like this that have, or survivors that have suffered or lost their families.
Mm-hmm.
Their last speaker at an event was amazing. There's just so many organizations that I'm grateful for. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Sons of the Flag, they do great work, like
Yes.
for burn survivors, and you around them and see all the work they do, and think about all the nonprofits. There's all these donors that donate money. I mean, it may be $1, $5, $10, $100,000, but they're all in the background, and they give from their resources
Right.
to help these survivors and to help a lot of different people. So
Yes. Yeah. And I always encourage, like, if someone doesn't have the time to be the boots on the ground and to be there feeding someone or helping someone, then in any capacity that you can, if you can help support in some way with resources, with financially, just in any way, I think that we all can help in some way. It's just finding out, like, oh, how can I help make the world a slightly better place?
Right.
And yes, I'm so grateful for every sponsor, every supporter, everyone that pitches in or shows up or volunteers, because we can all help in different ways, and we need all of us. So sometimes all I can do is just show up and be there and, give a hug and give a smile and give a word of cheer or encouragement. And that's sometimes enough. As odd as that sounds, like, you just need to sometimes be willing to show up. And yeah, so thankful for everyone that helps, though. It makes a huge difference.
it does. It certainly does. Just a little bit can make a huge impact whenever you have a lot of people just doing a little bit. So
yes, especially when you have organizations like yourselves, like Roll Call. I know that you guys know how to stretch $1 and make every single thing count. And, none of us are wasteful. So I think that when the right people are there and overseeing even the finances, people that are donating can know and trust that, hey, my money is going to good work, to a very good cause. And that's important too, because I don't ever want anyone to feel like, their hard-earned dollar that maybe they're donating, it could even be their last dollar. Some people are that generous that it is going to be used for good.
Right.
Yeah.
Well said.
You're also involved with the city of Allen.
I am. Yeah. So I've lived here in Allen for quite a while. My kids, went to school here, graduated high school here. And so I've always been involved in my community, PTAs and every booster club and everything. But now currently I'm the chair of our Convention and Visitor Bureau, which is just a volunteer position. So I guess with the Convention and Visitor Bureau, our job is to help to, welcome people to Allen and help our hotels and help our convention center and help our event center. And so just like highlight what Alan is. And I'm like, yes, this is a good job for me. I love this. But I'm involved in lots of things with the community. I just, I love being involved in the community. And I would encourage everyone everywhere to somehow find a way to serve, because it actually makes your life better, whether it's volunteering in a classroom, or helping, with field trips, if you're a mom, or serving, on a committee, on a board, serving with parks, cleaning things up. There's so many ways to give back. I love with our city. I did our Citizens Police Academy and our Citizens Fire Academy. Oh my goodness. I love all of our police officers. They're amazing. So until you do something like this, you sometimes don't realize, like, you're aware that they're serving our community and a lot of them are putting their lives on the line. But sometimes all you've seen is the movies or what you've heard from a friend of a friend. But until you get in there and actually hear their stories and hear why they're doing this and the times that their lives have been in danger, and understanding, and solving crimes and protecting us, oh my goodness, like, it just opens your eyes. It gives you a different perspective for your own life, for their life, and it causes you to want to be a better person. And then with the fire, the Fire Academy is freaking amazing. I will never again look at a fire truck driving by in the same way after doing ride-alongs. Like, it literally actually changes who you are, because it provides so much insight and knowledge and wisdom into what is going on in these people that serve our community. So yeah, we have a ton of fun. We put out fires. We, learn how to tear apart cars and use the jaws of life, and, rescue people from buildings. Oh my goodness. And we climbed the, so we have to actually do the agility test that the firefighters have to take every year in order to remain in the academy. And they put us through that. And it's a lot of hard work. I mean, we're sweating. We did need to get some of the first responders help on some of our members because it's very physically challenging. But I love a physical challenge. I love any challenge, but I just learned so much. I'm so grateful for them. I got to, drive the police cars, drive the fire trucks, and really help to understand, like, what they do for our community. So every single person is important. No man is an island, and we all need each other. So it doesn't matter what level or layer of service you're providing to your community. If you're a teacher, thank you for that. If if you're serving our country right now and are active in duty, thank you for that. If you're a police officer, if you're a nurse, if you're a firefighter, like, I'm just grateful for everyone that is serving, even like our city council, our mayors, like in every single one of our small communities. That's what is the stability that's holding our country up. So without all the little people, you're not going to have a very stable community. So we need all of us. And I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah. So many people, sit at home, and whether they're retired or they work, maybe they have some time off, and they sit around and they think, man, I got all this time, and I know no one's going to admit they have a lot of time on their hand, but if they stopped and looked at how much time they spend watching the television or on the computer, and they took just a few of those hours away from that and did something, to your point, in their community, that couple of hours might make just the difference. And if everybody did just a couple of hours, to your point, then we really help our communities, and we help the people in the community. So,
exactly. But it doesn't
off the computer.
It doesn't just make your community better. It makes you better. Absolutely. Like it makes your heart, your mind, your soul, like, it makes you a better human, because it opens your eyes to something you never thought about. And that is so empowering. It's such a wonderful thing. Like, I try to learn something new every single day. I refuse to go to bed without, like, even asking questions. Like, I didn't grow up here. So I'm not ashamed to be like, hey, what's going on? Again, kind of a little about myself. When I first came here, I was like, people would be talking about, sports and music and movie references and pop culture and bands and, and sports teams. And I was like, I would be going like this, and it was all going over my head, because if you don't grow up in a culture, you have to learn about it. So I've learned a lot from from talking to people, from asking questions. And I'm not afraid to make a fool of myself sometimes, but I just want to learn. I want to be better. I want to do better, be better than I was yesterday, and hopefully tomorrow better than today. And that's all that any of us can ask of ourselves. But I think it's doing ourselves a disservice if we don't push ourselves to do the difficult things. Like when I was asked to be a speaker at Women in Automotive, I was scared. I was like, well, that scares the living daylights out of me. I'm not sure if I can do that. They're just like, oh, it's just like a 45-minute TED talk. You can do this. I was like, what? And I was scared of it, but I immediately said yes. I was like, yes, I will do this because I love doing things that challenge me and scare me and push me to do things I haven't done before. I'm not much of a risk taker when it comes to putting my body in physical risk. But when it pushes me to be a better human, I'm all in. I will give it a shot. Even if I fail, I'm okay with that. At least I tried. Right. And I don't want to have those regrets of I shouldn't have been too scared or let my fear of failure stop me from being who I'm supposed to be. Because I think all of us are on a journey. I still feel like I'm on a journey of life, figuring out, well, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? What is the ultimate capacity of a human? Every single day we just live that day with, the best that we can, but I'm still figuring out what I'm capable of and what I'm supposed to be doing. And that, as scary as it is, it's also exciting. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay not knowing exactly where I'm going sometimes, because you guys know, I am involved in a lot. And sometimes I feel like I don't actually feel like I'm spreading myself thin, but I feel like I'm trying a lot of things to figure out where am I best, able to help the most amount of people possible? Where can I have the most impact? And I'm still learning that. So life is a journey, and you're
doing a good job. You're doing a great job at being involved and really making a positive impact. So
yeah, absolutely. And you talked about failure, and a lot of people, to your point, won't do things because of that fear of failure. But the thing that I always tell people is, man, I've learned more in my failures than I ever learned in my successes. So what? So you stumble, so you fall, you pick yourself back up. And what matters is, what do you do after the failure? Mm-hmm. So you have a failure, you have a setback. Okay. So no one took away my birthday. I'm still here on this planet Earth. I still have my family. Okay, let's go forward. What's next? What is my character? What am I going to be like after the failure? And I think that speaks volumes. And a lot of people are afraid to do something because they're afraid of that failure. And that just holds you back. You never know what you could have accomplished.
Yes.
You just don't.
That's what I don't want to happen. That's my challenge. I'm like, let's live it to the max and not be afraid of that, because I think sometimes the most difficult times in our life are what define us. So that's kind of where you've got to start. And you're like, okay, what am I going to do at the most difficult time of my life? Am I going to give up? Am I going to, negatively impact others? Am I going to make my pain or my suffering or my challenge, am I going to turn this into a positive thing? Or am I just going to sit here and complain? So yes, I mean, I will not lie. My life has not been easy. I've been through hell and high water. I didn't get to serve our country because I wasn't really born here, but now I'm trying to serve in the best ways that I can. And I think that some of the things that we overcome in life are what really make us who we are, as difficult as they are. If you're able to overcome them, I will say in my life, as cliche as it is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger is very true for my life. And, I don't take any of it for granted. The good times, the bad times, all of it make us who we are. So yes, I kind of love a challenge. That's what I almost, as crazy as it is, and I don't know why, but I'm almost at my best when things are tough. That's when I'm able to push myself and do things I didn't know I could do. And I'm like, yes, so I love things. I love things. I love life.
And I think that's when we grow the most, is whenever we have the challenges,
right?
And hit them head on and defeat them, and don't let them defeat us.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, you were talking about serving your country, but you are doing some service because you are now a member of the Marine Auxiliary. Is it- I
Oh my
think.
goodness. You guys, you have no idea. So I was trying not to get emotional in that room because although I'm just an associate member of so this is the Collin County Marine Corps League, and I was sworn in last week. And I was trying not to be emotional in front of all the Marines because these are like tough, awesome people who I have great respect for. And I was just so honored to be in that room. I love this group, and they're doing so much good. And I was just so incredibly honored. Like words don't really describe how honored I felt to be able to be with them and to be sworn in and to serve alongside them. But I will say also, like, this group is so hilarious. I almost feel like I'm going to a comedy show every time I'm in those meetings because these guys are just funny. They have a great sense of humor, and their camaraderie and the family that they've built is what makes America great. I love it so much. And that's why I like to be around these people. These people, type of people, are my people. Like in life, I have learned you kind of find the people that are your people. They think like you, they want to do good. And with the rest of it, I mean, I can't please everybody all the time. None of us can. But I have definitely appreciate being around these guys. They've already taught me so much. So one of them, so Chuck was there at one of the meetings, and you know what he gave me for homework? He was like, Crystella, I'm going to give you some homework to learn about Marines. And guess what he gave me? He gifted me this.
Oh, no.
So it's a movie I had never seen before, and it was a CD, which I really DVD, which I really don't use that much anymore. I was like trying to figure out how to plug in stuff, and my husband's trying to help me. I'm like, how do we use this old DVD player? But it was an amazing movie. So much insight. You guys have probably seen this. I just had not. I still have a lot of movies to catch up on. And so it just taught me so much. So there was a lot of one-liners. Now I know where they come from because movie references, it was filled with them, but also gave me so much insight into what some of our servicemen, it looks like it was mostly men during those times, did and what they went through. And oh my goodness gracious, such a challenge. It just opens my eyes. Everything that I go through, I try to learn from, and I try to actually understand either what to do or what not to do. So a lot of the things in my life I've been through, I've learned what not to do. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing that. They say that a wise man learns from his own mistakes, but an even wiser man learns from the mistakes of others. Yes. So I always try to think that way and like, okay, well, who can I learn from? What can I do better? Like not remake the same mistakes I've made, but also if I see someone else making a mistake, I'm like, let me take note of that and not do that in my life or with my kids or, in how I walk or talk or act. Let me try to do a little bit better. So this was a very fun movie. If anyone hasn't seen it, oh my goodness. I could not believe what I was hearing and seeing half the time. But I learned a lot, and now have it was good homework. So thanks to my friend Chuck.
And Chuck's got a golf tournament coming up. It's the Arlie Ermy Memorial Golf Tournament, and that'll be coming up pretty soon. So.
Yes. And also, so the Marine Corps League, I'm helping out with their birthday ball, and I'm so excited about that. So I'm helping out with their birthday ball, and I'm helping out with Toys for Tots, which will be super duper awesome. They do a lot of events during the year. And obviously we talk about very important things in these meetings. It's not all jokes. I don't want to give the wrong impression of these meetings, because obviously most of what they discuss, they help the community. They help, Eagle Scouts recognize them. I wish I had known about them because my son's an Eagle Scout and I didn't even know that they could be recognized by the Marine Corps. But so most of the stuff that we discuss in these meetings obviously is very important and helps to build our community and make it better, working with, replacing flags, all the things that they do year round. But I just love them because they all also do have a sense of humor. And I love being around people that can, not take life so seriously.
There's a lot of self-deprecating humor.
There is a little little bit. Yes. They like make fun of each other, but they all laugh about it. So I'm like, okay, that's okay. I guess this is
It's
how
okay. It's okay within our group. Now you can't come in from the outside and do it, because then you got to deal with everybody. Within the group, yes, it's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, those Marines are pretty special, and there's one of the special Marines, Mr. Don Graves. So he's got a sense of humor too.
He does. I love Don so much. Like he's honestly, I think he's like an American treasure. I don't know how to like save him forever, because I love him, his spirit, his stories, his life, his positivity, his kindness, his generosity. Like he's just an incredible human. I know that he does a lot for Roll Call, and he's one of your biggest, supporters, and he's almost the face of Roll Call apart from you two. And I love that about him. I love that he's lived his life and he's overcome so much. And, there's a lot of people I know, and they've gone through a lot of challenging times and they haven't figured out how to overcome them. And I understand that. And I don't judge. Like everyone's journey is different. But when I see people like Don that have somehow overcome all of that, all the challenges, all the trauma, and still living their best lives. And what is he? Is he 99?
He'll be 99 on May 3rd.
Yeah, super duper soon, 99. That is freaking awesome. I wish that we could all live to be as fantastic and fabulous as Don Graves. I just love him to pieces, and I wish we could save him forever and ever. I hope that the world is filled with more Don Graves as we go through life. So. And
you are a huge supporter of Roll Call. I mean, you helped us tremendously with our clay shoot, getting the word out, and even stuffing some of our flyers in bags for other clay shoots to advertise. But we really appreciate all the support that you've given us at Roll Call. So. And I think you bought most of the stuff at the auction at the clay shoot.
That's some pretty.
I think I did, except for that big shelf that I tried to buy, and it didn't fit in my car. Remember, Rick?
I remember it well.
I had like I don't know, like 5 or 6 gentlemen so kindly trying to fit it into my car, and we just couldn't fit it. So I gave it to you as a Christmas gift.
And I appreciate it. I use it all the time.
I'm so happy. That makes me very happy to hear. Yes, I'm grateful for that. But yes, I love you guys. I love Roll Call. I love what you do. I think that, like I said, you're not just building, or feeding people. You're building a community and giving them hope in their lives, and giving them a reason to wake up in the morning. And that is so valuable. You have no idea. You've probably saved a lot of people's lives and helped to extend their lives, whether you know that or not.
Yeah, that's one thing that we are very well aware of, because some of those guys, that's really the only socialization they have.
Mm-hmm.
And you could go there, it doesn't start till 11:30, but you go there at 9:30 and there's already people in there.
There's probably at least 50 people already in there. Like I walked in the door at 9:30 on Friday last week, and I'm trying to get some table tents put out and everything. And I got 2 or 3 people, Mary, I need to talk to you. And it's like, hold on a second. Just give me 1 second. But yeah, there were probably already 50 people, and there was a line at where they get their name tags. So it's just crazy how, since now it's been around since 2014. We'll have our 10-year anniversary this summer. But I got there in 2017, and I think our lunches were about 150, 200 people. And look, Carla. And now we probably have 400 people or so on the roster, and now we've got over 1,600 people on the roster, and we've got 450 to 500. And Carla being on here, she kind of took the reins of the volunteers, and she is just so wonderful. When she speaks, everybody listens.
And Carla's a veteran, and she's also a Gold Star mother. So she is, and she does a lot of volunteer work.
That's amazing.
She's absolutely amazing. We have a lot of really incredible people. We are incredibly blessed with the volunteers that we have at Roll Call. We could not in a million years do what we do without all of them. And,
Right.
it's just amazing. We've got a couple of guys that come out from, they're at work for a logistics company, and the owner of the logistics company, Jorston Logistics in Burleson, they work there, and the owner is a veteran, and his son and his VP come out and work the registration desk every month. They use their computer technology skills to do something that we started a few months ago, and we needed some people that had the skill set to help teach us how to do it right. And they come out every month, and they won't come and take a seat in the dining room away from a veteran. They just want to be there to serve. And so, that's the kind of people we get. We got, the guy who's running all the chicken and pickle places. He comes out and he serves. And it's just amazing the people that have a heart for these veterans and want to come once a month, and they'll get there early. The volunteers are starting to get there at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And they'll be there until every chair and table is put up at, 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That nobody gets paid at Roll Call. None of us get a paycheck. So they're doing it because they have such a heart and a love for the veterans, just like you do what you do, Crystella, because you have a heart and a love for the veterans. And there's another one of our wonderful Roll Call veterans, Johnny, chiming in. We just love, we just wrap our arms around each other and love each other. And that really, at the end of the day, is what it's about. Family, camaraderie, fellowship. Let's be together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And you're giving an opportunity for people to serve, which is so important. That's what it is the people that hold our country together. All the little people, we all just serve. We all do our part. We show up when we can, if we can. No one needs to feel bad if they can't. That's not about that. But if you can, it will help you be a better human. I can tell you that right now.
Well, and to that point, Crystella, there's things that people that volunteer with organizations can do that they don't even have to leave their house. I'm sure that you can use people like that. Every organization can. We have folks that do a card ministry for us. So we have a group of people that they don't have to leave their house. They are part of our card senders. So we provide them with the cards, we provide them with the envelopes, and then they get a list of people to communicate with, and they send birthday cards and get well cards and sympathy cards and all of that. And we have a lady in Illinois who is related to the sister of one of the folks I used to go to church with, Ruth, her name is Ruth, out of the Chicago suburbs up where I grew up. And she actually makes beautiful handmade cards. And about every quarter or so, she sends us a box of them. And that, again, saves us some money. And we give those to the volunteers, and they can put a note in the card and send it to the veteran. They don't even have to leave their house. And I'm sure your groups that you work with and everybody else can use people that have computer skills and all kinds of other skills that maybe they can't leave the house, but they have a few hours a day or a week that they can contribute to an organization from home.
Yes.
Then you know what? Organizations need that too. They don't have to get out and be out in public if they don't want to.
Yes, absolutely. That's the beautiful thing. And humans, like I said, I think that we're made to do great things with our lives, and finding out, why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing and how we can use our lives for good is so important. It's a small thing, but it's probably one of the most important things that we can do with our life. Figure that out. I noticed also that Lori, and we love her because she always volunteers with us. She's on, Lori Dodson. She's one of our amazing volunteers that show up. Like in a pinch, we all text each other and we're like, hey, we've got this event. Who can be there? Who can volunteer? Who can show up? And I love her to pieces. My friend Rose Clark is watching from Corsicana. She's a police officer there, and she's amazing. I've helped her out. We have kind of like a small ministry where we help to provide beanies for the homeless. Sadly, she lost her daughter to overdose. So I care very, very much about, all of that. And she's an advocate for helping those who have lost children to the drug epidemic in our country, which is very, very sad. And that, I mean, I'm just so grateful for everyone. Like, we all need each other and we all need to support each other. Oh, my friend Angel my sister Angel from Houston, and my mom and dad are watching. So many people are watching, but thanks to everyone for that are watching. Sometimes all you need to do is like share a message or pass it on or share a little act of kindness, and it doesn't take a lot out of you. So, anyone anywhere can do something kind. When you're tempted to say an unkind word, swap it out for something nice. And when you're thinking a negative thought, even about yourself, try to turn that into something good and be like, you know what? This is what I'm thankful for. Because whatever you focus on is what you get more of. So if you're focusing on negativity about yourself, you're going to get more of that because your brain thinks that that's what you're supposed to do. If you're focusing on solutions and positivity and good things and beautiful things and appreciating family, friendship, flowers, whatever you like. Find what makes you happy and brings you joy and focus on that. And you will slowly and gently start to pick yourself up if you're in a bad spot. So
that's right.
Yeah.
You've talked a lot about a lot of different organizations, but let's talk for a minute about Support Our Scrubs.
Yes.
And tell us what kind of needs you have for your organization.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So right now, I mean, I can always use anyone that wants to pitch in and help. We do write thank you cards and drop them off at hospitals. We do put together care baskets, and that's just like, healthy snacks, protein bars and chips and just fruits and things like that. And we can get those delivered. I have work with hospitals all across the metroplex. And so if you have a specific hospital that you want to help get the stuff to, I'm more than happy to coordinate that. For the most part, I have points of contact everywhere. We just figure out, when is the best day to deliver. And then they'll normally put them in the break rooms. So that's a super duper easy way for individuals or churches or groups to get involved and do a little service project together. I have a lot of them that do it for their MLK project, or, there's just a lot of people willing to help. So with Support Our Scrubs, I can definitely use help with that. I also have something that I founded called the Noble Award. I'm not sure if you can see this a little bit.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. So the Noble Award is something that I really wanted to help recognize anyone that serves our country. So it's a small thing to do, and it is a small act of kindness. But I think the person that can nominate someone is doing an act of kindness. And then also the person, it's so wonky. I'm trying to figure out how to do it right. Okay. The person receiving the award will feel encouraged and loved and supported. And so you can just hop on our website on supportourscrubs.org, fill out the little form. We just need name and number. We're trying to get a photo so that we can share it if possible online, just to spread kindness and awareness, and then an address of where we can send the award. But anyone that serves our country, be it healthcare workers, first responders, police, fire, servicemen and women, veterans, if I can, so right now I don't exactly have a sponsor for that whole program. I'm still looking for that because I would love to work with one sponsor that is as passionate about it as I am, as, just recognizing people and thanking people. So I don't have that yet, but depending on how much we can get the program to grow, I would love to be able to include teachers and so many other people that do serve our country, because it's all these little people that hold our communities together. So I would love to be generous with the award. And I just kind of need a little bit of help with that to hopefully maybe get even just, the cost sponsored to get the plaques done. So not too much work, but I mean, I always have a million things. If anyone is interested in serving, I serve with, my own nonprofit there's so much to do. Like I said, I don't know exactly how to fix the mental health challenges. I'm trying to provide, on our website, there's free yoga classes if people just want to learn how to breathe, how to meditate, how to try to, find healing. And it takes time. Healing takes time. Just if you have a scratch, it takes time for it to heal over. If you've gone through some trauma, some emotional trauma, or seen a lot of suffering or pain, which a lot of these guys have done, it takes a toll on the human body and the human spirit. So we are here for you with Support Our Scrubs. I mean, I drop stuff off. People donate scrubs. There's a lot of things that we do. So if you want to get involved, please let me know, reach out. You can email or text or call me. And, but I don't know. There's so many things going on, you guys. I'm trying to I was trying to tell Rick, I'm like, I'm going to make a list of my calendar, but I might just have to post that online because I do so many things. It would literally take me I have 4 pages and I'm like, I cannot read these off to you. So if people do want to serve, if they want to get involved, I highly encourage everyone everywhere to do something kind. Volunteer, be it for an hour or for a day or with your life. If you're retired, if you have time, do it. You will not regret it. Serve in your city, serve in your community.
And people can reach out to you through your website. They can reach out to you and say, hey, Crystella, I'm interested in serving veterans, or I'm interested in serving firefighters. Do you know of an organization I can work with? And yes. I know you'll be happy to direct them to that organization.
Yes. Yeah, if you like working with puppies, I've got you, because, there's organizations that help to train puppies for vets and for, service dogs. And yeah, just absolutely everything under the sun. I try to keep on my Facebook page a list of nonprofits with their links to their pages, but Facebook only lets me do 50. I'm like, what? It only lets me put 50 links in there. And that's not enough, because I have worked with and I'm aware of and want to highlight and support so many nonprofits. So yes, there's, almost like there's an app for that. There's a nonprofit for that. Yeah. And if you're interested in serving, yes, absolutely. I am helping out this next month so this is actually a Colorado nonprofit, which is called the Special Forces Foundation. And they're doing their first event ever here in Dallas and Texas at the George Bush Memorial Center. So I'm helping out with their event, their gala this next month. It's almost next month. And so I'm excited for that, just to help other, nonprofits nationally to spread awareness for their mission and their cause. And I think they work specifically with Green Berets and the Special Forces. So this Friday I have our chamber gala. So I'm going to be dressed in crazy 70s clothes because it's a disco.
Oh, cool.
It's like Saturday Night Fever, Friday Night Fever, something like that.
Saturday night.
On Saturday, I'm helping out. I'm dancing. Well, I'm a backup dancer for my friend who's a Zumba instructor. And we have Raf MC. He's flying in from Italy. So we're going to all dance together. On Saturday, I love music. I love dancing. I'm helping out with Dallas Fashion Week. So I'm doing the red carpet there. That's March 6th, 7th, 8th. And so, just spreading awareness, spreading kindness. Life is very, very full. Like I said, I cannot ever, even list here all of the things that I have going on, because it's a lot. Mm-hmm. But I love it. And I'm just so grateful for you guys.
We're grateful for you.
Yeah.
You're a blessing to so many people and inspiration to so many people. And again, go check out supportourscrubs.org.
Yes, so and it's not very big, but that's the name of the nonprofit, Support Our Scrubs, tiny little card. And then I do, I'm on all the social platforms. So you can find me online, find the nonprofit online, and do something kind. That's, life is way too short to not just be kind.
Spread that kindness and joy.
Yes.
And Crystella, we thank you so much for being with us today. And our time's up.
That sucks. I want to stay with you guys forever.
But we look forward to seeing you again soon in person.
Yeah, we'll let you know for sure when the luncheon on base is going to be. You'll have to come to that one again.
That was so much fun. And Rick, you put up none of your good pictures. Like, you're the professional photographer, mister. And you take all the good pictures. Rick's like, hey, do you have a couple pictures? And I was like, but Rick, you have all the pictures.
There's a picture I took.
Yeah, that was one.
Take that picture.
Don was in heaven.
Rick, whose car was that? I forgot. So that was one of the veterans.
That was Mark's. Yeah.
Mark's.
Yeah, it belonged to Arlie Ermy, who was in the Full Metal Jacket movie that you watched. What? So that was his actual car. So.
Oh my goodness, how cool is that? I had no idea. But there's the movie and there's his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, you take the best pictures. And you didn't put any pictures of like Mary and you and I. I love those pictures so much. Because you're my favorite people.
There we are.
There we are.
Oh, I love it. Yes.
But thank you so much, Crystella, for being with us today.
Oh, my
And
honor, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
thank you
I'm
for
in the company of greatness.
thank you for all you do and all the support you give so many nonprofit organizations. If we could just do a fraction of what you do,
For real.
the world would be a better place for sure.
Well, thank you so much. I'm here for you guys. I love you.
Love you too. And we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back anytime you need me. And
Okay.
just keep me posted with events too. We didn't talk about all our events. So wait, when is your next clay shoot? Are you doing one?
Yeah.
October 12th or 13th. I can't remember. That's Sunday, whatever it is.
Sunday in October. Like the
Because
second
that was
week.
so much fun. I love that.
It was.
That was your first one ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We'll have
we'll
to
probably
get you back out there.
We'll probably see you at the Texas Gun Ranch for the Garland Police shoot soon. I think that's next month. So.
Yes, yeah, I'm doing all of them. The Light Up to Live, I think, is in October. They do a clay shoot, the golf tournament, and a dinner. All the organizations, yes, as all the ones that I can show up for, I will be there. And we almost always run into each other. So
yes,
we do indeed.
Good times.
Well, thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon. Crystella McIvor, a great American. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. That's a lot of energy in it, Mary.
But you got to love her. She's
absolutely. She is incredible.
She does a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah, she does. She just pours it all out. And just, I mean, I follow her on Facebook and I get tired thinking, how does she do all that? Because it's from one event to another event. And sometimes it looks like there's several in a day. So, but you know how it is to be busy. I mean,
I do.
You do a lot of
really
events.
Busy.
You went to the Marine Ball the other day.
Cowtown Warriors.
Cowtown Warriors.
I was thinking about that this morning. We should get a couple of them on here.
Yeah,
and, so they could, because you know, they help folks with service-connected disability. So if you're a veteran, you have service-connected disability, they come in any number of different ways in how they help. And every year when I go to that and I watch the videos or hear the stories from the folks that have been helped, I don't think a lot of people know that they're out there, but you know, they have gotten connected with the Texas Veterans Network. So Crystal and Megan were there Saturday night as well. So it was good to see them. They've just connected with Cowtown Warriors. So now they're able to refer people to Cowtown Warriors because, you know, that's really what the network does. But I think it'd be neat to kind of hear a couple of their service stories and hear about the folks that they help and what they do, because they do some really neat stuff.
Well, let's get them on.
Yeah. So I'll get a hold of Bazan and maybe, you know, he and Clint or, you know, whoever else. Clint is the president of the organization. So maybe we can get a couple of them on there to tell about their service and then talk about Cowtown Warriors.
What they provide, because, you know, it's just, it's all the networking. You know, that's so important in our industry, not our industry, but what we're involved in. There's all the networking with so many different organizations. And then in turn, we can, whenever people have a need, it's not always us that tries to fill it from roll call, but we say, oh, you need to call these people or call these people. They're the ones that can help you.
Yep. It really is.
With Servolution, you know, they had their gala this weekend, but they're a good one to plug into because they help so many people and have helped some of our veterans. And, you know, with the Texas Veterans, what's it called?
The Texas Veterans Network.
Combined Arms.
Yeah. So it goes when you put it in the system, it'll come up as Combined Arms. But yeah, they go under the moniker of Texas Veterans Network. So.
And that's one of those that just networks with all these different organizations so they can say, oh, you need a battery for your car, or you need a a plumber or something.
Right.
And
You
they
need
have
a
the
ramp built. You need this, you need that. Then or, you know, one of the things that they also do, and I've talked to Megan and Crystal about it before, and I think that I should probably re-engage. You know, they said, you know, you guys are on there to refer people, but what if you actually were somebody that we referred people to? Because, and I'm like, well, but we don't do plumbing, and we don't do this, and we don't do. They said, but yeah, but we have people that are having struggles because they aren't finding a connection anywhere. They don't feel like anybody cares. And, you know, we could put them into your organization because, you know, we know about it, and roll call is a place for the veterans and those who love veterans to come land and be a part of. And so, you know, that's really true. So they can refer folks to us who they're just looking for some place they can serve or some place that they can go and be around other people. You know, it really does help. As you know, and I know from seeing some of these guys, some of them come every month and say, I needed to be here, because it is a place of healing where they can go and they can share those stories and they can speak with other people that have been where they've been, done what they've done, understand it, you know, because sometimes they can't communicate some of that stuff to somebody who doesn't understand the military. They, you know, we speak in jargon and letters, and, you know, we're like the alphabet, you know, SAC and TAC and MAC and all these, you know, we use all these different MOS and, oh, what was your MOS? Somebody else sitting across the table is like, and we don't use that in the Air Force, but I know what it is. It's the same thing as an AFSC. So, but we can communicate using just jargon and things, and other people don't always understand that. So it's sometimes easier just to communicate with folks that get it.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think, what Megan and Crystal were referring to there. But there's a lot of great things going on in the north. In this part of Texas, we really do honor our veterans. There's so many organizations that can provide them what they need. And what we do at Roll Call is not necessarily provide that, but we provide an avenue to find that for them. You need somebody to come out and you know, help you with a ramp. You need somebody that can help you, guide you through the process of the, you know, disability claims. We know people that we can refer them to. So we don't do it ourselves, but we know where to send them to get real help, not run around, beat around the bush help.
That's right. And, you know, there's a lot of veterans that may need help, but they don't think that they deserve the help, because they say, well, I didn't go to war. I didn't go fight a battle.
Yep,
You know,
we hear that a lot, don't
I
we?
served someplace else in the States, or I did this,
Mhm.
or I was in the support, but I don't feel like that I'm worthy of getting the help. So there's a lot of people out there that really need the help, but they are, you know, afraid to ask for help or seek help because they just don't think that they deserve it. So
right. And not realizing that just such a small percentage of the military actually goes into combat. And so there's a whole bunch of people that have put that uniform on, that have raised their right hand and swore to defend the Constitution, and wrote that blank check that included their life. And though they weren't sent to combat, most didn't have that option. It's you know, the government decides, the leader decides who's going to go into combat, when they're going to go. And so if they've served, they've served. And, you know, if they're a veteran and they're out there and they're hurting and they need help, PTSD, whatever, they need help because they need to plug in somewhere like Adaptive Training Foundation. They need help going out and dealing with PTSD. There's folks that we know that we can connect them to with the Veterans Ranch. There's all kinds of ways to help get people plugged in to get the help they need. They just need to be willing to tell us they need help, and we will get them in the right place.
that's right. Absolutely. Well, roll call. We had a good roll call. Kind of had Mr. Graves tell some stories, and then General Flynn dropped by for a little bit. And
Yeah.
encouraged us,
Yes, he did.
and it was an interesting roll call.
It was indeed. And one of the things that he did that I found just really special was that he made a special point of honoring the Gold Star families. And there were
Right.
two there public, and Carla, who is a Gold Star mom, and Tori Seals, who is a Gold Star wife. And, I think that might have been the first time that Tori was there at the luncheon, but, you could see that as he was talking, you could see her trying to hold back the tears. And I talked to her later, and she said she tried so hard because she didn't want to get emotional. But, when he said that the families that have had a loved one die in service to this country, those Gold Star families, man, you just really, you have to honor them and in the sacrifice, because those family members didn't do that alone. They had the support of those families, and they had the support of the people that loved them to encourage them to go do what they did and to put that uniform on and to serve. And so it's not just, and we all know this, you know it, I know it, we've served, but our family serves along with us.
That's right.
Not just us.
And you think about those, like General Flynn, certainly during his career, there were people under his command that got killed.
Well, many, I'm sure.
And then, he's got the weight of that, knowing that, hey, there's one of our service members got killed and they have a family, and we need to honor that. And, the Gold Star Parents Family Retreat, it's coming up in April. It's a great organization that brings Gold Star parents from across the country to have a weekend to kind of just hang out together and just love on each other and not heal, but let people, it lets them know, hey, it's okay to go through this grief.
Right.
Because everybody does that different. So
right.
Our good friend Terry and Elizabeth Burgess and the Gold Star Parents Retreat do a magnificent job. So, you and I are so blessed.
We are.
To know all these people that do so much, just like Terry, Brian, his son, got killed in action. And Terry went down in the darkest pits of human existence for a long time. But, like so many people that we were around, he came out and started doing something to reach out and help others. And, his net's cast pretty wide, and he makes a difference in a lot of lives. Mm-hmm. And we get to see a lot of people like that, just like Crystella, that make a difference by just using their talent and their energy and help other people.
Yep, no doubt. God gave us all some gifts. We need to use them the way he intended for us to use them, and they are definitely doing it.
Absolutely. Roll call this next month. Who do we have?
Well, we have Shiloh Harris. So we'll get more out about Shiloh. There's a book, I think there's a book in the works or already out, and then there's a movie, a documentary being made about Shiloh. Ought to be a really, really good lunch. Now, we're still kind of determining with the skipper when we're going to do the lunch on base. There's some hangar resurfacing potentially happening. So I'm kind of hesitant to open the RSVP link for March without knowing if we're going to have to move up to March instead of April. So hopefully I'll get a response from him pretty soon on that, because there's some extra questions we need to ask if when we do the lunch on base. So I hate to open up the RSVP link and then have to come back around and ask all those questions we need to ask to get people on base. So I'll try to get an answer to that before we meet again next week, because the RSVP link right now is due to open on Monday, the 4th, the day before we do this again. So I just need to figure out if I got to hold off on that for a day or two to get a response. So hopefully we'll have an answer and we can know whether we're going to do it in March or April, the lunch on base. But he is going to have us out on base again. We just need to nail down the month.
And the base is going to be a pretty big, busy place in the next couple of months because
Yes.
April 13th and 14th, the Blue Angels are in town for the air show. This is the first air show we've had at the base in a long time because it's been held out at Alliance Airport. And so they brought it back to Carswell or NASJRB.
Whichever you choose to call it.
It's exciting because Mary and I kind of live in the flight pattern of the base. So we'll get to see the Blue Angels come by and as they're practicing and do their air show.
It's fun. It's fun living in this part of Fort Worth. But that's also the same weekend as a NASCAR race. They moved that race from September last year to April this year. So it's the same weekend, and Don Graves will be singing the God Bless America again on that Sunday. So I'm going to go to their show Saturday and the NASCAR race Sunday.
And then that same week, it's Fleet Week, and we'll have a lot of Navy personnel in town, and we'll have a little announcement of some things that we've got in work to kind of get to be with them for a little while. So just a lot of exciting things.
A lot of stuff, as always, this time of year.
Well, we've enjoyed you, our audience. We've enjoyed having you part of this podcast today. And thank you, Crystella, for being a great guest. And thank you for all you do. Mary, thank you for all you do, because you do a lot of things for our veterans and military. And I appreciate you so much.
Wow. We all appreciate you too, Rick.
I'm just an old man with a camera. But thank you all for being a part of Hometown Heroes, and we will see you next week.